Comcast, how I hate thee. Let me count the ways. Well, I don't have to count the ways. I can show you. This right here. This pretty much sums it up. What that says is, oh, your Xfinity show, the show that you were watching has stopped and the feed has died and you're screwed basically. But I can get a hold of data on the laptop and I can figure out what's going on. So when this first happens, I cannot do an NS lookup, which is the name server lookup of Google. Now, if you can't do a name server lookup of Google and get a nice long list of IP addresses, you're not on the internet. Okay, period. But just by the fact that NS, the lookup service, tries to look something up, means I'm hooked to the Wi-Fi. Because if the network was down, it would just hang there. It wouldn't come back and say, well, the service couldn't tell me an answer. But it comes back and tells me that the service couldn't tell me an answer. Therefore, it's trying to get out over the network connection, and the network connection on the laptop is telling me that it is connected. So, it is not my Wi-Fi. It's not the modem. It's something between the modem and the internet. So there's something on Comcast's system that's not functioning. Okay, so it's something in Comcast, because I doubt it's something on Google's side, okay? And I doubt it's something really even on Xfinity's side, on the thing that's actually bringing me the material here. It's not on their side because everyone else seems to be able to get their internet. And when I go away from my neighborhood and I sign on to my Xfinity account on someone else's modem, it doesn't do this stuff. So I know it's not the internet. I know it's not on Xfinity's side of things. It's in my neighborhood and it's Comcast. I know this because I've worked in IT for years, and I've learned how to diagnose where problems lie just by forensicing, running through tests on my local laptop and finding out how far I can get in an NS lookup and the other million tools that are out there, and looking what's going on in my local network, what can get out, blah blah blah. I'm telling you, it's not the Wi-Fi, because I can plug in the modem directly and I still have the same thing happen. Now, there's another more insidious problem here. I work for a big company and I have to be available for that big company sometimes on the weekends and the evenings. It's just the way it is. I know I'm not getting paid for it, but we make these decisions as we go through life. I've made the decision to make myself available for this company. They have provided me with a laptop that I'm using actually now to watch Xfinity because it's Windows. My laptop's Linux, and Xfinity stuff doesn't work in Linux because they're idiots and haven't tested it in Linux. And I am unable to establish a reliable VPN connection to my work because it does this. It drops me from time to time. Well, actually all the time, because I get this sort of reaction about every 3 minutes. Sometimes. Now this is Sunday afternoon, and it is right at prime time really for people to be watching stuff, when people are probably connecting to their networks. And people in this neighborhood are connecting, and I can even look at my phone, and I can see it dropping on my phone. Again, the Wi-Fi stays connected, but it's actually trying to get through to web pages. It fails. And we have called Comcast and complained about it. We've called them and tried to get it reconnected. It doesn't work. The bottom line is I have to have an internet that I can use for my VPN. Right now, the only way I can connect it to my VPN to work is to, or even to Xfinity, their own media service, reliably enough for it not to drop me in the middle, is to tether to my phone. So I have to tether to my phone to get my work done. This is why I'm going to drop Comcast. Now, my wife insists on having cable, and to be honest with you, that's fine. If she wants cable, she can have some sort of cable TV. I'm about this close to calling AT&T. I've vowed not to use AT&T, but I am this close to calling AT&T and having them hook us up with a slower DSL modem in a sort of trial mechanism to see if it works better. Because as far as I know, when you look at the connections from Comcast, it looks like Comcast is using part of the AT&T network to get to the back end of the internet. So it looks like, or to get to the backbone of the internet. So I'm wondering if they're in cahoots. I mean, is it just one pipe actually, and then who you're paying the check to every month, or does AT&T really run the internet cables and Comcast lease them or something? I mean, what the hell's going on here? Because it looks like they're using the same network at some point. You get past Comcast's first set of equipment, and it looks the same. So I don't quite understand how that works. I mean, at some point you're on Cisco's backbone to get around to the different parts of the internet, but really, if you're I don't know. I don't know how it works. I don't know if I want to know how it works. I'm sick of it not working. At some point, I am just going to have to kill it and start and find something that works. So as I go through the net, I'm trying to notice places that are affected more by this Comcast debacle. YouTube, I've noticed caches a lot more. So it's the videos on YouTube tend to survive a lot better the drops, because what's happening to me is my internet drops and then it comes back, and it's long enough of a gap, several seconds, a little bit less than a minute. Xfinity does not survive. I tend to get dropped on Xfinity shows. My VPN to work does not survive. I tend to get kicked off of everything with that. And YouTube does seem to survive. And of course, any normal web page, you get a burst of information. That's your web page. You download that, and it sits there and runs on your local computer. And then you click on something on that page, and it sends a request, and then it downloads a dump of information. So you don't really notice it on your phone or on, because you're doing that. You're loading bunches of information all at once. That is the whole web page, and then it's nothing, because their goal is to get you your information and get on to the next person, because they got a billion people accessing their webpage, like Facebook and all this kind of stuff. So they send you a burst of information, they're done with you until you send in another request. So that kind of stuff hasn't really been affected too much, because it's only down for a few seconds. So if you click on something and it doesn't load, well, you just turn on and click on it again, then it comes in. So you don't really notice it with that. What's really killing me are the one thing I absolutely need is my VPN, and what's really annoying is not being able to watch TV on my laptop. I didn't realize how annoying that would be. And of course, regular cable TV is not affected. It doesn't seem to matter that the internet's dropping. So it's something that doesn't have anything to do with the actual connectivity. It's somehow in the intercommunications of the network, and it's just driving me up the wall. I can't take it. I got to find a solution.